Oh. Okay. Tiamat summoned Bahamut once before. She may have again. Willfully or no? So this is the Delta Quadrant, where countless dragons yet lie imprisoned. The great Tiamat among them. Yep. Cozy, ain't it? Not to complain, but I didn't expect to find myself here again quite so soon. Me neither. Oh wow, really? This is the turn-in for this already, huh? It has been quite some time since I last set foot in Ozislaw, but I understand the three of you were here rather more recently. I don't suppose you chanced to meet with Tiamat during your visit? Nope. Alas not. We had no cause to set foot here in the Delta Quadrant, but I have studied the relevant records, which is not to say I wouldn't appreciate a first-hand account of your dealings with her. Of course. Well then, now Thor is the person to ask. As far as I know, he's the only one of us to have met Tiamat face to face. I mean, this is true. Ah, yes, you were a friend of her father. I too have met with Tiamat. After the Dragon Song War came to a close, I came here to speak with her, a worm who had fought her own war against man in another age. I wished to know if she yet harbored thoughts of vengeance, and asked as much. She said no. My hatred for your kind was extinguished long ago. But the guilt she feels for resurrecting Bahamut burns on undimmed. It torments her, even now. I see. Then your original reason for coming here was out of concern that Tiamat had been forced to summon Bahamut. Nidog is a part of me. I feel his emotions as my own, and I know that he would not allow his sister to be made a tool of evil. In his absence, it falls to me to watch over her. Daw. Sus, but daw. Our grandfather sacrificed everything to protect the realm from Bahamut. We must be prepared to do the same. Boy. No talking about sacrifice just yet. The Azure Dragoons of history were the mortal enemies of the dragons, yet now they would be hard-pressed to find a soul who understood them better. I mean, they weren't really always the mortal enemies of dragons. It was the Ascians who taught Tiamat the secrets of summoning, even as they supplied the Allagans with the means to capture primals. So much suffering, all of it by design. Yeah, they were tempered too. So it's all a mess. Estinian is ready to lead the way to Tiamat. Righteous indignation. Tiamat awaits this way.
Can I just say how fucking amazing that Alfino Alisei Just give me a moment.
I was dying. That's probably why you
fucking
caught up,
dead.
is I just had to stop and start laughing.
I was fucking dead when that happened. And Graha too.
Oh god, that Graha emote. People are gonna be begging for that emote now, oh my god.
Especially Rhea.
Yup.
It's in time.
So this is one of the 7 great worms. Even thus confined, her presence is overwhelming. To think that man is responsible for all of this, and so much else that dragonkind has suffered. Yep. Resigned to her fate though she may be, I cannot help but feel that we may be able to help Tiamat, would she only let us. Well, probably. It is the end of the world after all. So pretty. My sire's mortal companion. Something something. Crap.
It's plain she knows naught of recent events. Perhaps you should enlighten her.
So Tiamat's dialogue was, "My sire's mortal companion, what bringeth thee back to this forsaken place, child of man?" Ah, that my sins should be repeated. I sensed not the faintest stirring. As to who could have called him forth, I know none save the dragons of Mericidia, our children. The icon claimed their souls when he first manifested, and robbed of their will, they became tools for the Allagan's dark designs.
I've seen it with my own eyes. Captives of a lost empire, neither alive nor dead, existing only to preserve Bahamut's corporeal form.
Yes, yes you have. Yes, the dragons of Mericidia are at the mercy of this Ascian. There can be no other explanation. I mean, there could be, technically, but, Accursed Ascians, vile minions of darkness. I mean, it goes a lot deeper than that now, Tiamat. Again, you would profane the memory of my beloved, and strip our children of their freedom, their dignity. Are there no depths to which you will not stoop?
Your children's pain means nothing to them.
Oh.
They laugh at your kind's suffering.
I don't like where this is going.
But tears will not right this wrong, nor will lamentation see the perpetrators punished.
What wouldst thou have from me, Slayer of Dragons?
Behavior befitting a great worm. We came here to ask mighty Tiamat of the First Brood, consort of Bahamut, mother of the dragons of Mericidia, what she intends to do about the crimes committed against her children.
Wow. That's blunt even for you, Estinian.
Santalan infan antosk, Koush rent on.
Were I free, I would answer thine insolence with fire, but words shall have to suffice.
Ale o esk an in, ale kum ak in.
Recall, mortals, that it was I who did first summon my beloved, praying with all of my being to bring him forth. You who contend with icons cannot well be ignorant of the consequence. Yeah, you'd be temper. Oh. Are we really going to untemper a dragon?
You too were exposed to his influence. That you are yet in possession of your own will is testament to the indomitable strength of your soul. But were you to meet with Bahamut again, you fear you might succumb.
Snuska dramon kin, nestra in, illes I, nesh an,
Indeed, ask the Dragon Slayer, and he will tell thee of the power we of the First Brood wield. Were I to lose myself to the icon's influence, all would pay the price.
Unmik, nalstra ul antal an, smon, tahi an.
But it is of little matter, for even had I the strength to resist, I yet lack the strength to break my shackles. This prison shall be my tomb.
On the matter of Bahamut's influence, at least, I believe we can be of some assistance. If you're afraid of being enthralled, don't be. We have a cure. And while we've never tried it on one such as you, its basic principles are universal.
Usk she's in.
Speakest thou in earnest?
There is no future for those bound to the past.
I don't like that either.
That you committed a terrible sin, I do not dispute. But if you feel remorse, you may yet make amends. We offer you that chance. Take it, or you will forever remain a prisoner, not of these cruel shackles, but of your own guilt.
Sahan, Seth so, Kin Bahamut an.
A chance to make amends, to lay Bahamut's memory to rest.
An sumon, na an inles, snaloles dish an, na ala an ul an sin an stan in.
When our own star faced annihilation, Hydaelyn granted us sanctuary. And now your foes would bring about her destruction. This I cannot allow. For the debt I owe Hydaelyn, and to all who have suffered for my sins, I shall fight with you, children of man. Aw, smiley Estinian. It would seem she still has some pride after all. Let's see if she's as good as her word. It won't make up for all she's suffered at the hands of men, but if there's a chance we can free her, truly free her, we owe it to her to try. I confess, my heart was in my throat when Estinian thought to berate her, but it appears to have the desired effect. Yeah, for now. While pork-seas have been shown to be effective in curing the tempered, Tiamat must be considered a special case. No kidding. She is far, far larger and immeasurably more powerful than any subject treated thus far. Were we to remove her restraints only to find that the process had failed, we would be hard-pressed to contain her. Yeah. Then, before we go ahead, we should learn as much as we can about the exact nature of her condition. Do you suppose we can find that information here? Why, yes, we can. We can indeed. The Alligans kept detailed records on all of their notable captives, and I know exactly where to look. Quarantine block? Maybe? We shall leave that to you, then. In the meantime, the rest of us can turn our thoughts to the removal of those shackles. I mean, you could look up how to do that, too. I know Alphino and Nalathor here are well enough. I know Alphino and Nalathor here well enough, but not you. Are you certain you're ready to see this through? Rest assured, Sir Estinian, that I am both ready and willing to give my all for the sake of this star, though that is not my only reason for wanting to set Tiamat free. While I do not claim to know all her sorrows, I too once found myself in a prison of despair, and I well understand how hard it can be to dare to dream of escape. It took the encouragement of braver souls than I am to make me take the first step towards a brighter future, and now I would help Tiamat do the same. I gather you are not as young as you look. Mayhap when our work here is done, we could trade tales over a pot of Tataru's famous tea. And be indebted to her for the leaves and hot water? I think not. Estinian knows. I see. Returning swiftly to the task at hand, then. I believe the nodes governing Tiamat's restraints are located in the sector known as the flagship. Ah yes, we are familiar with it, the Aetherochemical Research Facility in particular. Oh, you may wish to take this, a spirit vessel, containing a small amount of my blood. We're using those again, are we? Which you just happen to be carrying around with you. I suppose that could seem rather odd. To explain, Rambros, Urianger, and I are researching the use of spirit vessels in the transference not only of memories, but the traits of certain bloodlines. And so I keep one at the ready should an opportunity to test our theories arise. As for its use to you, you may recall that during our previous visit, the nodes here granted access to restricted functions, having identified me as being of royal blood. And armed with that spirit vessel, I posit that they will do the same for you, even in the absence of, well, the rest of me. It seems worth a try at least. Agreed. We will take good care of it. To the flagship, then. Yeah. To the flagship. Field trial spirit vessel. One never knows when a small portion of royal Allegan blood might come in handy, which is why Grahatia keeps this vessel about his person. Alizé and I shall remain here and attend to necessary preparations. In the event that the spirit vessel fails to work as expected, you know where to find me. Good luck. It's possible the restraints may have mitigated the effects of her tempering, but Tiamat has been enthralled to Bahamut for thousands of years. To have clung on to her reason through it all says a lot for her strength of will. More than a lot. So she is in fact tempered to Bahamut, technically, but she maintains her will. I would rather leave these Allegan contraptions to you and Alphino. Let us split up and search the flagship for the node that controls Tiamat's restraints. But should you find a likely candidate, do not be tempted to make any adjustments. It would not do to accidentally release some manner of experimental monstrosity, nor less Tiamat herself in her current state. Our objective at this stage is simply to identify the relevant node or nodes. Once we have learned what we can, we should reconvene and compare notes prior to proceeding. Yeah. Party pooper. I'm not even going to try to say that word. Krr. Data link with Delta Quadrant broken. Possible cause, intruder interference. Advised deployment of automated combat units. Proceed. Clamorous mode. Blip bloop. Warning. Scheduled dragon restraint maintenance due in negative 2020 years. Failure to verify system integrity may result in unscheduled specimen release. That's a really polite way of putting it. Friction between metallic components detected. Temperature increasing to critical levels. Please replace damaged parts or retreat to a safe distance. No? Over here? Oh, derp. Infernal things. One of them sent a swarm of mechanical vilekin to plague me. I must have angered it. You must have, and I'm not surprised. Maybe you should take a bath. I am afraid Estinian and I have little to show for our efforts. Did you find anything? I did. A node which smelled like burned hair. Yes, a chirping node which spontaneously warned me about neglecting the dragon restraints. I, found a way to activate mechanical sentries, if that's any help. Chirping node. Duh. Spontaneously, you say? Well, that does sound promising. Almost suspiciously so, in fact. But then you were in possession of the spirit vessel. I dare say it is indeed the node of which Graha spoke. And it was chirping, you say? Very well, let us take a closer look. How did the Allegans tell these gods-forsaken things apart? Clearly, they have a HUD too. As suspected, the node will not acknowledge my authority to issue it instructions. Yeah, let me boss the node around. Woo! Blip. Do you wish to operate the dragon restraint mechanisms? Blip bloop. You do not have the requisite access privileges. Operation of the dragon restraint mechanisms may only be undertaken by the chief technologist and members of the royal family. Or those with a vessel full of royal blood, perhaps. I don't want to give the node the spirit vessel. I want to stuff a little bit into it. Blip. New user detected. Commencing biometric authentication. Bloop. Authentication complete. User identified as member of the royal family. Please state your name. Oh, you can't do this to me. I want to pick all three. Damn it. I just went with my name.
Same.
Bloop. Welcome now, Thor Vrelamir. You may operate the dragon restraint mechanisms when ready. Blip bloop. Error. Unable to disengage restraints of the specimen Tiamat. A system update is required. God damn it. A system update? What do you suppose it's asking of us? God, these quests.
I love it.
I could hazard a guess, or to smash it to pieces. System updates are that thing that I hate doing. I could hazard a guess. Well, that's more than I can say. Confounded bloody thing. User agitation detected. Initiating guidance program. Bloop. In order to operate the restraint mechanism, I require access to the central control system. However, I am unable to establish a link to said system due to the obsolescence of my software. This issue can be resolved by applying a system update using the corresponding terminal located within the flagship. God, the nodes are as long-winded as Urianger. So can this thing release the restraints or not? It can, but only once it has received the requisite system update, as far as I can tell. Good to know I'm traveling with himbos. Until which time it'll float there spewing nonsense.
Took a screenshot of that.
User dissatisfaction detected. Initiating placation protocols. Bloop. I am here to help. Rest assured that I will be on hand to guide you through every step of the system update process. Oh my god. They have too much fun with the Allagan nodes.
Estinian is like that boomer who knows nothing about electronics.
Clearly. How gratifying. But I dare say we will fare better with guidance than without it. Oh my god. Now I'm even more glad that I changed all of our NPCs to Allagan nodes.
Perfect timing too.
Yeah, for real.
If only the Allagan node also like talk like that, that'll be awesome.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. Let's see. I don't know what possessed the Allagans to surround themselves with these chattering orbs, but the fact they remain while their creators do not speaks volumes. So, Estinian is also a doomsday prepper.
Of course.
The AI overlords are out to get us. Sid and his colleagues always make operating these Allagan devices seem so easy. That's because Sid is not a himbo. Let's see, for vengeance. The restrainment node stands poised to lend a hand, figuratively speaking. Bloop, guiding user to terminal. This way, please.
Bleep bloop.
Bleep bloop. Let's see. As intriguing as Oz's Law is, I'll be glad to be out of here just so that I don't have to hear the music anymore. This terminal appears to be similar to the one we encountered when we first set foot here, but if so, it will be equally useful. Don't look at me. This is a task for you and Alpha now.
Cousin time.
Bloop. Access granted to user Nalathor Vrelamir and his adolescent companion. Master Vrelamir's other companion is deemed a potential risk to safe operation and has been denied access privileges until further notice. Let's see. According to the terminal, the central control system is presently employing software version 56.135. Dare I ask which version you are employing? Employing, rather. Why? Software version 42.0002, of course. Or 002. I added extra 0. Blip bloop. Warning. Errors detected in the data management system. Estimated time required for update. 5 years, 1 day. Ah! That is rather longer than we were hoping. Aren't there any other options? For instance, using this terminal to operate Tiamat's restraints instead? Bloop. The proposed method is indeed an option. Please be warned, however, that the procedure may have changed as a result of the system update, and my instructions may no longer be accurate. Well, I can't imagine it will have changed all that much. As long as we pay due attention to any discrepancies, I dare say we shall be able to muddle our way through. Don't bother trying to explain, just tell me we've made any progress. If we've made any progress? I would say so, yes. It does, however, require that I remain here to operate the terminal. I shall inform you via link pearl once I am ready to release the shackles. It might be best if you left the spirit vessel with me. I may yet have a use for it. Rest assured, I will be certain to return it to Grahatia once this is over. Just a little more work and Tiamat will be free. But before we go any further, there is something I would know. When Tiamat and her kin fought against the Allagan Empire, both sides were but dancing to the tune of the Ascians. And it was the same in Ishgard, where they stoked the fires of conflict between man and dragon from the shadows. All that the Ascians touch turns to ash, and thus have you made it your mission to fight them. But there have been times when you tried to reach out to them instead, to find common ground. And so I must ask, what do you intend to do with Fandaniel? Will you try and reach out to him too? Enemy or no, I would want to understand him. I will try, yes, and if that fails, I'll remember him. Certainly, after I've wiped that smile off his face. Oh, those are so good. I will try, yes. And if that fails, I will remember him. I see little point in reasoning with the wretch, or remembering him for that matter. But perhaps that's the difference between you and me. You see the good in people, even if it be but the faintest glimmer. I only hope you do not come to rue your benevolence. Well, I already rue my malevolence, so why not even it out, right? You think us unwise for viewing the world thus? Far from it. That has ever been your way, as I learned when we journeyed together with Iceheart. Yet the fact remains that there are some who view compassion as a weakness to be exploited, and there may come a time when you extend the hand of friendship only to wish that you had dealt the killing blow. Okay, so that's gotta be foreshadowing something. So, save your mercy for those who deserve it. Well, we should be getting back to our task. If Alphino has things in hand here, I suggest we rejoin the others. Hey, how about we rejoin the shards to the source? That's a good idea, right? Yeah? Rejoining? Let's do it. I cannot deny the logic in Estinian's argument. Given all that is at stake, even the slightest lapse in judgment could be the undoing of us all. What say you, restrainment node? Bleep bloop. Warning. Releasing dragon restraints may result in specimen loss, damages facilities, and incineration of staff. Yep. That be dragons for you. Fire! Hello, Papistry. Will we ever find out what you're for? If this Fandaniel truly is without reason or creed, he is no better than a rabid dog. Treat with him if you must, but be ready to do what is necessary. Oh, don't worry. I am. Where's... Oh. So the spirit vessel proved useful after all? Excellent. Estinian told me all is well, but nothing more. Honestly, it's like getting blood out of a stone with him. I take it from Alphino's absence that he is needed elsewhere. Yep. He is busy bleep blooping. Well, that all sounds rather frustrating, but you got there in the end. While you were off talking to nodes, Graha and I were learning as much as we could about Tiamat's condition. Our readings confirmed that her ethereal balance leaned strongly towards the umbral, as was the case with the kobolds. Therefore, all things being equal, the treatment should work. The difficulty lies in the sheer quantity of ether with which we must contend. Multiple applications of the treatment will inevitably be required if we are to reverse the effects of the tempering completely. Meaning I'll need all the aether I can get. Thank you in advance. Although this endeavor will ask much of us, we do have one reason to be optimistic. Namely that Tiamat shows no signs of fanatical devotion, suggesting a milder case of tempering than that suffered by the kobolds. See, I want to know how that applies to Asians. Tiamat saw Bahamut as an equal rather than a god. Might that have made a difference? Now that you mention it, it very well might. She would not have believed it necessary to defer to his will. But enough talk. It's time to put our theories to the proof. Tell Alphino to disengage the restraints. Ethereal dampers. I'm counting on you, Angelo. Such warmth. The frost that shroudeth my soul doth begin to thaw. But what are these? Visions of days long forgotten, of war with the men of Alag. Wherefore do such baleful memories return to me now? Could it be that the process of restoring her soul to its pre-tempered state is awakening ancient memories? Or might the opposite be true? If so, by helping her to recall the past, we may be able to speed her recovery. This all seems like setup for doing the same thing to an Asian. Maybe I'm biased. I might be biased. I am biased. Now, Thor, she trusts you. Speak to her. Ask her to tell you of times past. Okay. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians, or tell me of your war with the men of Valak. Oh. Tell me of Bahamut and the Ascians. Ah, Bahamut, my beloved. Would that the peace we found in Mericidia could have lasted for eternity. But alas, it was not to be. The Ascians saw to that. In all creation, I know of none more wicked. It was at their behest that the men of Valeg first came unto Mericidia, unto our home. Ooh, I get 3 flashbacks. Ooh, pretty. The tale began when Bahamut and I left our father's side. We took wing in search of a place to make our eyrie. Beyond the southern ocean, we discovered a lush and fertile land. It would come to be known as Mericidia by the children of men, though many years were to pass before they crossed the seas. Ooh. Babies. Upon our arrival, we were welcomed by the peaceful people of the forest, kin to the trees. Surrounded by nature's bounty, Bahamut and I found a place to raise our young. Fascinating. This correlates with the writings of the Charlene scholar Rurusha. She posits that man first settled on the southern continent towards the end of the Second Astral Era. Correctly, it would appear. If only she were with us to hear the tale from Tiamat herself. Lore. Again,
Lore
Angela.
bomb.
Yeah, I like these lore bombs.
Wasn't Rurusha mentioned somewhere too?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. Maybe no, not Scholar. Summoner questline.
Yeah, it might be Scholar. Scholar or Summoner are both good guesses, really.
Yeah.
Let's see. When first the children of man arrived on our shores, no foot did they set in those places over which we held dominion. Such was their fear of dragonkind, and as they kept their distance, so did we let them be. Yet as the days went by, ship after ship appeared upon the horizon, bearing ever more of their brethren, who divided the vast land among themselves. For a time, they knew peace and prosperity, but as their numbers grew, the smaller their share came to seem, and soon they began to covet the territory of their fellows. Ere long, man fought man, blood was answered with blood, and none could see an end to the strife, until one day they came to us. Recognizing our wisdom, they entreated us to intercede in their conflicts. Bahamut agreed, and with him presiding over the affairs of men, the land knew peace once more. I'm looking at this shot and I'm like, is that a person on the right or is that a mob? I can't tell.
So I think that mob is similar to those half dragon, half horse-looking mobs.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah.
The head was reminding me of, I think it's the wolf mobs in Final Fantasy X. It was really throwing me off.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? I have to look at it at an angle.
Yeah. Alas, those golden days of harmony too were fated to end. For the men of Alag slew my beloved, and I, in my rage and sorrow, heeded the envenomed words of the Ascians. The rest thou knowest only too well. Look tired, Alize.
What?
But your tale doesn't have to end there. When you are free, we'll rid the world of the Ascians together, and you and your beloved will have justice. But I don't wanna! Fine sentiments, but you're almost spent. I'll keep watch from above. If the treatment fails, run. How nice of you, Estinian. Ugh, thanks for the vote of confidence. I swear when this is over. Keep going, Alizé. The magic is working. Easy for you to say, Graha. You're not the one trying to untemper a millennia-old dragon. Slowly but surely, the magic is working, aided no doubt by the memories you bade her share. Yeah, how about letting me see more of those memories, huh? All of them? Yeah? As a treat. While I knew this wasn't going to be easy, no patient could have prepared me for treating a great worm. But we're close, I can feel it, and while I've only got a few more drops of ether left to give, with you and Grahas, this will work. Then, I believe I speak for us both when I say that you may take as much as you require. I mean, that's a bit of a broad statement, Graha. Careful, I might hold you to that. Alright, here I go. Oh, now it's the get shit done music.
No! I'm almost there! This is it, Angelo!
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I was spamming screenshot button. Where am I going? Let's see, what's the fastest way to get there?
Yes, I feel it. The icon's grip groweth weak.
Did it work?
We won't know for certain until the shackles are removed.
Task in Santal Ankin in way.
Answer me this, children of man. Can my kindred be saved in like manner?
Many have been subjected to the Allegan's dark arts. Their flesh
many
irrevocably
people.
altered. For such tortured souls, I fear there can be no salvation.
Cutscene.
Hmm?
Ankin.
My children.
Slosk an all fall kail an. Slosk seth som in an.
Should you hearken unto my call, we shall fly together once more. But should you not, I shall grant you peace. Well then.
Afatan. Mon ud. One ein. Lis an. Do ud an.
Better to die than live as a tool of evil. You too would wish this, I know, and I shall do as I must.
When that time comes, you won't be alone. We'll stand by you.
She's in an enigma.
Thou hast my gratitude, little one.
Alphino's ready. It's time. Do it.
Dungeon unlocked.
And let's hope the treatment worked as it should.
Bahamut, my beloved.
Jas. Ul Asa.
For vengeance and atonement, I rise.
By the gods!
Urianger, your timing could not be better. Understood, we're on our way. It's Bahamut. He's been sighted over Pagalthan. He flies for the largest Amalta settlement in the region, at the head of a vast host, including dragons.
Did you hear all that, Alphino? You'd best rejoin your comrades. I'll make my own way. Our enemy awaits. Shall we?
Damn it, Estinian, why do you get to ride the dragon? I want to ride the dragon.
Because he's a cool dragoon.
Yeah.
He always acts in a fancy way.
Yeah, true. I'll be fine. Plenty of time to recover on the airship. Are you sure about that, Alisaie? While I'm sure you're desperate to join Estinian and Tiamat in battle, 'twould be wiser to gather the full strength of the Scions first. The foe we face demands no less.
I asked you in FC chat if you want to run the dungeon together, but then I realized Nick is already running it.
Yeah, I'm gonna run it with trust so that
Yeah.
I can get the
That's what I'm
lore
doing right now.
stuff. The Flames of War. I like that shot of Pagalthan. With Lunar Bahamut bound for Pagalthan, Grahatia is determined to call upon the aid of your fellow Scions. Cutscene! Whee!
Wee. Oh my god, this music.
I have already sent word to the others. We are to rendezvous in Ul'dah at the Hall of Flames. Let us collect Alphino and be on our way. It's gonna be so weird coming out here and seeing Oz's Law without Tiamat in it.
Mm-hmm.